In the game of golf, each hole has a par, which means the average number of strokes you're supposed to use to get the ball into the hole. So, depending on how far above or below par your strokes are, there's a different nickname. So, here are some of the nicknames: hole in one, eagle, birdie, par. And we're going to write a function where you pass in the par and you also pass in the strokes. You can see up here par and strokes, and it's going to return the nickname. So that's what we're going to write. You can see this table here shows what we have to do. If the strokes are 1, then you get a hole in one. If the stroke is less than or equal to par minus 2, you get an eagle, and so on. And we also have this array that's going to make it easier because we can just use things from this array instead of typing out the words. So we're going to start with an if statement. If, and then we have to put the condition, if strokes equals, that's the equality operator. We don't want to use a single equal sign because that would be the assignment operator. If it equals 1, then we can return, and we can see down here, we're going to return hole in one. But we can just use it from this names array. So it's going to be names, and this is going to be index 0 of the array. So we'll do names and then 0. And then we can do an else if, and then we can put the condition, strokes. I have to spell strokes right. Strokes, and then we can just actually copy this right from here, less than or equal to par minus 2. And then we are going to return name, and this will be the index 1, which is an eagle. At this point, I can do some copying and pasting. I'm going to copy this whole thing because a lot of this rest of this will be else if. So else if strokes is, this time it's going to be equal to par minus 1, and we're going to return, this is going to be birdie, which is array index 2. And I'm going to continue just like this. So this time it's if strokes equal par, we're going to return name index 3. See, 0, 1, 2, 3 is going to be the word par up here. They'll just keep just like this. Now it's going to be par plus 1, and we'll change this to 4. Now it's going to be par plus 2, and we'll change this to 5, which is going to be the double bogey. And finally, if strokes is, change this to more than or equal to par plus 3, that means you did very poorly, so you should just go home. So it's going to be name index 6, and we don't need this anymore. So now we're going to do some tests here. I'm going to do a console.log, and we're going to pass in the function that we're calling. So in this case, the par is 5 and the strokes are 4. So that should return birdie. Let's see what happens. Null. Okay, that's not what I expected. It's because this should be names. I spelled this wrong. Okay, that's why sometimes it's better to check before you go through the whole thing. You can test things as you go. But let's do that again. Yep, birdie. And if I type in 2 here, eagle. If I type in 8, it's probably going to tell us to go home. Go home. Yep, we just completed this challenge.